Live, the national airline carrier prides itself of a number of achievements, one of them being named Africa's leading airline at the World Travel Awards in Africa. We're joined by the CEO of South African Airways, Manwabisi Kalawe, to talk a little bit more about the plans for our airline. Good to have you. Thank you so much for being with us on the program.
Thank you for the opportunity.
All right, this is not the first time we've won this particular award. What does it actually do for the airline? What does it mean for South Africa?
It's a demonstration of the pride that our staff have on the brand, which is good in terms of putting the country on the flag, as well as encouraging our staff to do more and to do better.
Yeah. All right. Now, talking about that, there is a turnaround strategy in place. Talk us through it. What are some of the major things that we can see that are going to be happening at the airline?
Look, I mean, the most important of the lot is the fact that we've identified Africa as our growth engine. There are two areas that we are focusing on to make that a reality. The first one is to increase frequency and capacity to various countries in Africa. A recent example is Mango. Beginning of September, they started flying to Zanzibar. That's part of the new strategy. The second element of the focus in Africa is to set up a hub in West Africa. West Africa is a huge region. The population is estimated at about 230 million people. The middle class is about 33% of that. The middle class is important for us because in areas where the middle class is big and growing very fast, airlines tend to do very well. So we're going to be setting up the hub in West Africa to assist SAA in its growth and, of course, improving its profitability going forward.
Yeah, so we're going to see a lot of movement within Africa, a lot of new routes, perhaps?
Yes, we are carefully identifying countries that SAA should focus on in Africa. And what you look at is the ease of doing business in those countries. You look at GDP growth, and those are factors that we consider when we make the decision to fly into a specific country. We've identified them, and for competitive reasons, I'm not going to disclose them now, but you will see as we move forward that we are carefully identifying the new countries that we should fly into to assist us in improving profitability of the business.
Okay, so we are going to see that fold increasing. What about in North Africa?
North Africa at this stage is not an area of focus for us. We have carefully chosen West Africa for the reasons that I've just cited.
Partnerships with other airlines. I mean, Middle Eastern airlines are, they service a lot of African countries. Are we looking at partnerships? Look,
we've got existing partnerships with, in particular, two of them. Emirates, they've got a long-standing partnership with SAA. And beginning of this year, as part of our turnaround strategy, we formed a partnership with Etihad in Abu Dhabi. It's a very strange relationship. On the one hand, they are partners. On the other, they are competitors. Yeah. And that relationship seems to work for all parties concerned.
All right. Let's talk about international destinations because, by adding routes, you obviously have to eliminate a couple of routes that are not doing so well for the airline. Talk us through this. Are we going to see some SAA routes disappearing?
In answering that question, let's go back and understand the SAA mandate. It's two-pronged. The first one is to drive commercial sustainability of the business, in other words, look at profitability. And the second element is a developmental mandate that requires for us to support our country in its trade and tourism agenda. Let's park that on one side as a background. What we constantly do as management is to review profitability of each of our routes, particularly the long-haul routes. In this analysis, we've identified some routes that are making huge losses. One of them is Beijing. As management, we made a recommendation to the board that we should withdraw from Beijing. Our shareholder then came back to us and said, you cannot do that because China is part of BRICS, South Africa is part of BRICS. It's our number one trading partner. Find a way, management, to continue operating on that route. It seems the best way to move forward is for government to work with us in developing a fiscal transfer mechanism to reduce the loss-making situation for SAA to enable us to continue operating on that route. That's the one route. The second one is Buenos Aires. Buenos Aires is a loss maker. We've made a recommendation to government to withdraw from the route. We have been given the go-ahead to withdraw from the route. We haven't set a date for the withdrawal yet. It'll probably be towards the end of this year or beginning of next year.
Okay.
So this analysis of profitability of each of the routes is something that management does every day. And when we see that it's impossible to turn a route around, we make recommendations to withdraw.
All right, so Beijing, Buenos Aires, not going to be happening in the near future.
Buenos Aires, we're withdrawing.
Yeah.
Beijing, we're not. Government is going to work with us to develop a fiscal transfer mechanism.
All right, just finally before I let you go, we run out of time. Mango, because this is obviously something that you're wanting to see domestically take a lot of root. I mean, we're already seeing, and I know a lot of people weren't happy that SAA was not flying between Cape Town and Durban anymore. Is this going to happen in a lot more routes? Is SAA going to continue to service all domestic routes, or will we see Mango sort of moving in there and servicing most of those routes?
It'll be a combination of using the SAA premium product as well as Mango in combination. The trend, the demand profile in South Africa is changing. We're seeing that passengers are wanting to use a low-cost carrier like Mango. So you're going to see a lot of Mango deployed in the country, with the SAA premium product being deployed in the rest of Africa.
Okay. Let's leave it there. I wish we had more time, but we don't. Thank you for being with us, and good luck with your plans and the turnaround strategy at SAA. The CEO of SAA, Manwabisi Kalawe, talking to us about all of their plans. Let's take a break. We've got some comedy after this. Eugene Koza, Even Me. That's what it's called. It's his show. It's coming up. We're going to be chatting about